Hello students, welcome to Nilachal Polytechnic. Myself Amrendra Mishra. My subject is strength of material. Here in this video, I am going to explain about the different types of end condition of the column, calculation of failure of the column due to crippling load. For the syllabus in diploma, there is no derivation for the mechanical engineering departments for the calculation of crippling load in various end condition for the derivation part. We have to write only the expression part. Now, go for study about crippling load. Basically, the columns are applied with the axial loads. The long columns, while they are applied with the axial load, during that time we have seen that they are buckling to the either directions of the vertical axis. So, buckling load is nothing but that is the load at which the beam or column tends to buckle. That is known as a buckling load. Crippling load is similar to that of the buckling load, but it is the maximum limiting value of the load at which the column buckles. And due to crippling load, there may be failure of the column as bending takes place. Now we have to calculate that what are the factors are causing the buckling of the column. The first parameter is that amount of load. If you are applying the load is much more higher than that of the resisting capacity of the column, then the column may buckle. If the length of the column is much more higher than that of the lateral dimension or that is your cross-sectional dimension, then it is also buckle. End condition of the column. There are different end condition of the column, whether the column is fixed at both ends, whether one end is fixed, other end is free, whether one end is fixed, another end is fixed. So in later we have discussed that how the end conditions of column are there and how to study that. Cross-sectional dimension of the column. Cross-sectional dimension of the column means what is the size of the column. It may be a square column, it may be a rectangular type of column, it may be a circular column. So if the diameter or size of the column is much more less than that of the length of the column, it is also chances that the column may tends to buckle. Lastly is your material of the column. Material of the column means what? If we are going to use the material which is for the design of the column, during that time we have to choose that in such a way that the column should not be buckled. That is our main definition. So we have to choose such type of material so that the buckling of the column may not be takes place. If the weaker material is there, then their chances of buckle is also more. So what are the mode of failure? In case of short column, we have seen that there is a crack takes place, that is due to a compression force, and only they can be shearing takes place. But in case of your long column, this is a long column where we have applied the load at the top, and during that time the buckling is going to be takes place. Let's go for calculation crippling load in various end condition of the. There are four end condition of the column. One is both ends are pinned. Second one, both ends are fixed. Third one end is pinned, another end is fixed. Lastly is one end is fixed and other is completely free. Before calculation of the crippling load, we have to determine that what is the effective length for each conditions of the column. Effective length means what is the amount of buckle takes place in the column. So effective length for the both ends of pin, actual length into 1.0. Similarly, for fixed end both are, effective length will be actual length into 0.5. For one end pinned, other end fixed, effective length will be actual length in 0.7. If one end is fixed, other end is free, then effective length will be actual length into 2.0. These are the figures are showing that there are different end condition of the column. So here there is a column. It is applied with the load P. Original length is L. One end is fixed, other end is free. Now at the free end we are going to apply it. Now due to the application there is a bending takes place. Now we have seen that L is the original length A to B. Now we have seen that there is a effective length, that is LE is equal to 2 into original length. Second figure, the both end of the column is pinned. They are freely moving at the point A and B. While we are applying the load P, we have seen that the rolling load is applied upon the A. Now it will be bend the beam. So while their bending of the column takes place, during that time P is the crippling load. Now due to that there is a effective length LE is obtained as L. Third point is that there is a column whose one end is fixed, other end is pinned. A rolling load is applied up at the point A. Now due to which there is a bending takes place. So at this point there is a bending of the column takes place, and that is your effective length of the column. So effective length of the column is equal to 0.7 into. If one end is fixed, B end of the column is fixed, A end is free. Now we are applying the crippling load, P is upon it. This rolling load will be causing the failure at point A and B. There is a 2 point, and the middle portion from this black color point to another black color point, this portion is your effective length, and due to this bending we have got that LE is equal to 0.5 length. In this way we have got that LE for free end and fixed end as 2L. For both end pins it is LE is equal to L. One end fixed, other end pinned as 0.7 L, and both end fixed it is LE is equal to 0.5. Now calculation of crippling load for the column, and for us there is no derivation, so we have to consider only the formulas. So we are having four conditions are there, already we have studied. Both sides hinged or pinned, one fixed other free, both end fixed, one fixed other pinned or hinged. Effective length already find out. So both end hinge means L is equal to capital L, L is equal to 2L, L is equal to L by 2, and L is equal to L by root 2. Now P is known as a crippling load. Formula is equal to pi square EI by L square. Pi square EI by 4L square. PE 4 pi square EI by L square. And for one end fixed, other end hinged is equal to 2 pi square EI by L square. In this way, all these are crippling load formula, where E is known as Young's modulus of elasticity of the material of the column, L is known as your length of the column, I is known as your moment of inertia about vertical axis, and LE is the effective length. So in this way we have completing the chapter, 6th number chapter. Here in this chapter we have already studied that Due to the eccentric load, there is a bending stress produced. So we have already studied combined bending and compressive strength. Then second one is your types of column, long column, short column, and intermediate column. Then what is buckling load, what is slenderness ratio. Slenderness ratio below 50 it is mid short column, above 50 it is long column, and in between 30 to 50 it is known as your medium column. So in this way you have completing the chapter 6th.